So, I popped into High House Insurance to see if they could quote for my house insurance rather than using the internet. High House got a great deal. So, to celebrate, I bought a posh hairdo. It made me look beautiful, gorgeous enough to become a highly paid model. I then won Celebrity Big Brother. I had an affair with an MP. Now I'm promoting a doll of me that says, "Cool, blimey, you're well fit."
Happy things happen when you talk face-to-face with High House Insurance. See if we can beat your home insurance quote from the internet. Find us on the High Street, Selsey, or call 606 552.
Hello and a warm welcome to Selsey Internet Radio. I'm your host for the show this week, Tony Weiner. This week's programme starts with an important initiative with Mike and Hugh discussing plans for a community Christmas Day lunch. They then continue to discuss prospects of public art in Selsey. This is then followed by Keith, who has been speaking to Annette Iskett about the Selsey Carpet Bowls Club. We then have Mary telling us what's on in Selsey this week, and after that Giles is talking with Hugh and advising us what we should be doing in the garden. Finally, we finish this week with two recipes from Lynnes, one of which is gazpacho soup and a lemon meringue pie. So, it's over to Mike and Hugh talking about this fantastic plan for a community Christmas Day lunch.
Now, we've got Mike Nicholls in the studio this morning. This is Selsey Internet Radio, of course, and Hugh Graham's interviewing Mike. Mike, what are we going to talk about this morning then?
Well, first of all, Hugh, like to just let folk know that a group of people are hoping to arrange in the town hall on Christmas Day a lunch to which anyone would be welcome who would otherwise find themselves on their own.
What a lovely idea.
Yep, it's come from someone who's said very willing to do the cooking.
Yeah.
Someone else who said very willing to do the publicity. We've had someone who said, I can't be there, but I'll supply all the mince pies. And so the thing is beginning to take momentum.
Yeah.
And what we're just trying to do is to kind of form a proper group to organise the various facets of it.
Yeah.
Then make it as widely known as possible. So
because you're going to want some waiters too, aren't you?
We're going to need cookers, waiters, people who set up, people who put it away, people who entertain.
And washers up.
People who are just there to talk to folk who come. We need a whole lot of people, and we'll all sit down for Christmas lunch together.
So William and Di will be there?
It's certainly something that's on our agenda, yeah. A lot of people are saying, we're very interested. Obviously, everyone has to sort of work out what their wider family is doing.
Yeah.
But we shall certainly aim to be on duty, and we anticipate it could be a nice thing to do.
I think it's a lovely thing to do. Right, so if anybody wants to get involved, who do they phone and what's the number?
Well, the two things that they can do, they could get in touch with Steve Saunders at Selsey Life and their office, because Steve is on board, or they could phone the...
That's the office of... that's in Reflex...
the computer shop.
Yeah,
okay. That's right.
And that's opposite Rudwick's?
Yes.
Yeah, fine.
Or they could phone the Selsey Information Exchange, 01243 201 616, and leave a message for me, Mike Nicholls. We're going to have a series of sort of meetings to plan things, and we'll just get more and more people on board.
So it's going to be in the town hall.
Yep.
How many can the town hall seat?
Well, I think...
Or you're planning on lunch for up to how many?
Well, I'm not sure we got that far yet. I think the town hall comfortably could probably sit 70, 75, for lunch. You've obviously got to make sure that you can prepare for that sort of number. And we've got to arrange things like transport for some people. And I think at the moment, of course, we haven't got any money for it, so we've got to raise a bit of money too. So there's a lot to be done, but it seems a good idea, and there are people, I think, who are determined to make it work.
Well, I think it's a lovely idea.
Last year there were a few people in our community who had to go to Chichester to find a Christmas Day lunch.
Yeah.
And I think we were determined that this year we would try and put something on locally. So we're going to give it a go, and anyone who is interested in helping
in any way
would be welcome to get on board. So far we've had offers from teenagers, teachers at the local secondary school, a whole raft of people, and really hope it will be a good community event.
Oh, all I can say, Mike, is Happy Christmas.
And to you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. What a wonderful idea. And if you can, please do try to help with the Christmas Day lunch. And now it's over to Keith, who's talking to Annette Iskett about Selsey Carpet Bowls.
This is Keith Barnes for Selsey Internet Radio, and today I'm talking to Annette Iskett about Selsey Carpet Bowls Club. Now, Annette, for the uninitiated, what exactly is carpet bowls and how is it played?
Well, carpet bowls is a scaled down version of big bowls, if you like. It flourished in village halls. That's where it first started, and it was the saviour of a lot of rural village halls, generating a regular and much needed revenue for some places. Carpet bowls is played on a carpet of 30 foot approximately in length by 6 foot wide, with slightly smaller bowls than the norm, if anyone is used to bowling of any sort. Roughly about 4 inches in diameter, the bowls. They all have a bias, and the object of the game is to get as near to the jack or the little white ball as you can, and certainly nearer than your opponents. And in doing so, you have to bowl round a round disc, which is placed in the centre of the carpet from end to end, in other words.
So the game's not just difficult enough by bowling balls that go wonky one way or wonky the other, in my experience, but just to make it more difficult, you stick a lump of wood in the middle of the mat.
Basically, yes. Yes, it would be far too easy.
Actually, that should make it fun. Now, I have seen it played, and I have to say it strikes me as being a bit more exacting than other forms of bowls, because there's not so much room to manoeuvre. You've got to stay on the mat, and the mat's only 6 foot wide, whereas an outdoor rink is considerably wider. Would you say it's more skillful, equally as skillful as green bowls as we know it?
Well, I play green bowls, I also play indoor bowls, and I play carpet bowls. And I have to say, out of the three, I think carpet bowls is the more skillful, because playing on a smaller surface, you have to be more exact, if you like. It's a fascinating game, and once you take it up, you just want to get better and better at it.
Would I be right in saying that it's not as difficult with regard to actually bowling the wood or the bowl as perhaps outdoor bowls or even full-length indoor bowls, which requires a bit more oomph? And so people that are maybe a little bit weaker in their arms, or thereby maybe younger people or people that are not quite so mobile, that this would perhaps be the ideal form of bowls for them.
That's the beauty of carpet bowls. It's open to most abilities, whereas with larger rinks as well as bowls and heavier bowls, some people could not manage. With these bowls on a much shorter length as well, it's open to all abilities really, children right up to the elderly, and that I think is a great asset.
I understand that in Selsey Carpet Bowls Club you've got a young member who does very well, especially in competition. So it's not just a game for the elderly, it's already infirm, otherwise I'd qualify. It's a game for all ages. And of course the beauty of it is you can play all year round, whereas outdoor bowls is limited by a relatively short season. Carpet bowls can be played all year round. Now, do you play competitions at the club?
We do. And we have our own competitions, as well as playing other clubs in the area. We have a singles, pairs, triples and fours competitions within the club. We play other clubs, as I say, in West Sussex. And we also play friendly matches with teams from Essex and Bedfordshire.
So there'll be county teams.
They are county teams, and they are very, very much stronger in those counties than it is in West Sussex. So we only play friendlies rather than more serious things that they do.
Right, well, assuming we've now got people just hooked and they want to hear a bit more, what does it cost to come and play? Or what does it cost to join?
Now, first of all, let me say that there is, because all the equipment is provided, there is no initial outlay. All we ask is that you wear a pair of soft shoes. We bowl in the school hall at Medmery, excellent venue for us. And as I say, the bowls are provided. You just come along and try it.
And when do you bowl? What days of the week are you open?
We have Wednesday and Thursday evenings from 7 o'clock, and also Sundays 9:30 we have a session, and again at 3 o'clock.
And is it single session on Wednesday and Thursday?
We have a double session actually on both Wednesday and Thursday evenings, 7 till 8:30 and 8:30 till 10.
So if I wanted to come along, I'd just turn up on the evening and say, well, I'd like to try playing carpet bowls, please. And I don't have to lay out any money other than the entrance fee for the evening.
Well, let me just say that if you were to come along, you'd have 3 free sessions to see, first of all, whether you liked it. And after that, it costs you £10 subscriptions per year and £1.50 for each game.
That's each session?
Each session.
Yeah. Well, that sounds very reasonable to me, I have to say. So you play down at Medmery School in the school hall on Wednesdays and Thursday evenings and Sunday mornings and Sunday afternoons. It costs £1.50 a session after the initial 3 sessions, which are free. And this sounds too good to be true. It's a great offer. People want to contact you. Is it you they contact? If people want to, they'd rather phone up and say, I'd like to come along. That way you're expecting them and they feel perhaps a bit more comfortable when they turn up. Can they phone you or?
Please contact me 606 227. If you want to find out more about it, we have a website.
And the name of the website is www.selseycarpetbowls.co.uk. I know because I looked it up to do my homework. Okie doke. Well, thank you for that, Annette. I think we've covered pretty much everything. Hopefully we'll see some new faces along there for you. I'll have to come back to you in the future and find out if this has raised any interest for you.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Annette. Now, Mary, what's on in Selsey this week?
Hello, Mary Kennedy here to tell you what's on in Selsey over the coming week. Wednesday the 24th is a busy day. The Crafty Natter Club meet from 2 to 4 in the Methodist Church Hall. All are welcome at the Academy at 4:15 for the Selsey Community Forum. And at 7:30, the Town Council planning and full council meetings start in the Parish Hall. Sussex Wildlife Trust invite you to an illustrated talk by Tony Whitbread on Sussex Wildlife Reserves. That's on Thursday the 25th, 7:30 till 9:30 in St Peter's Church Hall. Refreshments are available and there is an admission fee of £1.50 at the door. Friday the 26th is the day for the Macmillan's Biggest Coffee Morning. You're invited to 2 Ursula Avenue, 10 till 12 for coffee and biscuits, which will cost you £1. Or for £5 you could come along for afternoon tea between 12 and 2. And that afternoon tea is bookable in advance on 0779 147 5348. If you're thinking of adopting a cat, you might like to go to the rehoming day at the Cat and Rabbit Centre in Siddlesham between 12 noon and 2 p.m. And that's on the 27th of September. Selsey Academy PTA have a car boot sale on Sunday the 28th at the Academy. Sellers from 7:30 and buyers from 8 till 1, weather permitting. That's all for next week. But don't forget, more information in Selsey Life.
And now something for the gardeners, keen or otherwise. Giles tells us what we should be doing in the garden this week.
Hi, Giles. You're just about off to Ireland again, aren't you?
Yes, just off to my second home for a little while. Yeah, I'm back and forwards.
How long are you going to be away?
About 10 days or so.
Oh, not too long.
No, not too long. No.
All right.
No, but I go back and forwards a lot. As I say, I've got my son there and my daughter in Chichester, so I've got 2 homes. It's quite convenient.
I've been raking moss out of my lawn
Yeah.
And sowing some autumnal seed. Any advice you can give me?
Yeah, I will indeed. I was going to come on to that. As it happens, you must have been reading my mind. I was actually going to talk about the lawn right now.
Okay.
And that is that it's a very good idea now to give the lawn a good scarify.
Yeah.
To do what you're talking about, try and remove some of the moss. It won't remove it all.
Yeah.
And it does stimulate new growth.
Yeah.
It's what you want to do at this time of year.
I've got some ball patches. And
and you can put some grass seed on those.
Yeah.
Loosen the soil slightly first, obviously, and make sure you water them in.
I don't reckon, Giles, that the grass ever actually stops growing in Selsey.
No, it probably doesn't. It
slows down a lot in the winter.
It slows down a lot, but it doesn't stop. You're absolutely right. And the other thing about the lawn at the moment is raise the cut on the mower.
Yeah.
From now on, and also apply any time for the next week or two a good proprietary autumn feed.
Yeah.
To the lawn. So you're absolutely right what you said about scarifying the lawn.
Okay.
That's very, very, very important at this time of year. Out in the round about the seashores and the Pagham Harbour and these places around here, curlews, greenshanks, sandpipers, godwits and dunlins are all arriving. They'll all be arriving gradually from now on. Daddy longlegs this time of year are very prolific.
Yes, I've noticed
They're very
those.
noticeable. They come in the house rather a lot,
I
unfortunately.
really don't like them very much.
No, but they're harmless, really. Wild mushrooms, again, they're lovely to eat, but you've obviously got to be ever so careful with it that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But the main advice on wild mushrooms is they have pink gills and they peel easily.
Yeah.
They're the two main things about them. But if you can find some, they're really
But they're
great.
delicious, aren't they?
They're lovely, better than anything you buy in the shop.
Yeah.
They really are nothing, very nice. Also, again, any people who've got shading on the greenhouse, take it off around now, because all the sunshine is needed to go into the greenhouse now.
What you're talking about just now, bacon and mushrooms are just about my favourite breakfast.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I've got a friend of mine who keeps horses.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was going to say.
She occasionally brings me some mushrooms.
They get loads there,
and they're beautiful.
They get loads. Yeah, yeah. Oh, they are. Oh, they're lovely. If you sow some, you can get. If you sow some late lettuce in a greenhouse now, and when the seedlings are large enough to handle, plant them outside and put them under cloches, and you'll have some lettuce in about 2 months' time.
Really?
Mm.
Okay.
And another little interesting thing is if you plant some spring cabbage now, 15 inch between rows, 12 inches between plants, and then you should be all right for a bit of greenery. Well, obviously in the spring cabbage, as it suggests. Also start planting outside, start planting from now on snowdrops and crocuses, and a little bit later daffodils, and then obviously not for a while yet tulips, because they're a bit later again.
Okay.
Back to Christmas again, we're doing this every week now. Get some prepared hyacinths from a good nursery, and they are called prepared hyacinths, not rather against the ordinary ones for the ground, and then put them in containers or hyacinth jars, and again they should give you some flowers at Christmas.
They're lovely, Joe. They smell beautiful.
Oh, they're lovely, they are.
Yeah.
Another little tip is sprinkle some turnip seed and rake it in on a little patch in the veg pad where you've got a bit of spare ground.
Yeah.
And when it comes up, you can use it as a leaf vegetable like spinach in the spring, as against using it for turnips.
Okay.
It provides you with an early source of leaf trees.
If you take the leaf off, does that mean the turnip will still grow?
Well, no, because you're scattering seeds liberally.
Okay, all right.
So there wouldn't be enough room for them to grow to any size.
Yeah.
They would grow, but there'd be very little of it.
Yeah.
My usual little saying of being Irish, this is being Irish, this one. A leprechaun without a pot of gold is like a rose without perfume, or a bird without a song.
Oh, that's nice. All right, Giles, see you next time.
Thanks, Giles. I'm sure my wife will greatly appreciate the tips for the gardening. And now we finish this week with 2 recipes from Lynn.
We have Lynn Reeve in the studio this morning, and she's got some wonderful recipes for us, and she's going to begin with a wonderful summer soup.
Gazpacho soup. Good morning, Hugh.
Morning.
Yes, gazpacho soup was invented especially for the summer. It's served cold, and you actually even put ice cubes in it at the end, so it's a really nice cold soup. It's very refreshing.
Yeah.
I would say it's a lovely way to use up your vegetables, but for this soup you actually need to use the finest vegetables. So you need to get some good quality vegetables on.
So you can't use garden rubbish in?
No. Well, I mean, if your garden might not be garden rubbish. Some people grow lovely vegetables, don't they?
Yeah.
It's an adaptation of the classic Spanish cold tomato soup, but it combines all the best of summer vegetables, and it's a really nice little thing to have on a hot summer's day.
All right.
Now, this amount serves about 8 people.
Okay.
If you like medium-sized bowls of soup, that is.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
It depends how big your servings are, doesn't it?
Well, it's going to be for 4 then, because we're going to have 2 portions each.
Okay then. 6 ripe tomatoes, peeled and chopped, and we'll talk about how to peel tomatoes in a moment. You want nice 1 red onion, finely chopped.
Okay.
Some spring onions as well. 1 cucumber, and you want that peeled, seeded and chopped, and we'll talk about that as well in a moment.
All right.
Excuse me. 1 sweet red bell pepper or green, seeded and chopped. 2 stalks of celery, chopped.
Yeah, okay.
Everything's chopped. Yeah. 1 to 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh parsley. 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh chives. 2 cloves of garlic, and we're going to crush those. 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. 1/4 cup of olive oil. 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. 2 teaspoons of sugar. Salt and fresh ground pepper to taste, and 6 or more drops of Tabasco sauce to taste. Tabasco sauce, I mean. Give it a good old whoosh of Tabasco sauce, and a teaspoonful of Worcester sauce.
Okay.
If you're vegetarian, you're not going to use that, but, you know, it does give it that extra little zing. And 4 cups of tomato juice.
Okay.
Right. So, to skin your tomatoes, you place them in a bowl and pour boiling water over them, and after a minute or 2, the skins will become quite pliable, and you can just peel they just peel straight off, all right?
Okay.
Then you're going to halve them, scoop them out and discard the seeds, and roughly chop the flesh up.
Right.
Messy job, but somebody's got to do it, hasn't they?
Yeah.
Now place the tomatoes, the cucumber, the spring onions, the crushed garlic and the chopped pepper in a liquidizer, adding a seasoning of salt and pepper.
Right.
With the cucumber, you don't particularly want the seeds from the middle of the cucumber, so cut your cucumber in half and just scoop out the whole middle bit, alright? And then chop it up after you've peeled it. Once all that is in together in the liquidizer, add a seasoning of salt and pepper, the herbs, oil and the wine vinegar, and then blend everything at top speed until the soup is absolutely smooth.
Okay.
Alright? Taste it to check, obviously. If you want a bit more salt and pepper, add it then, and pour the soup into a bowl. Stir in a little cold water to thin it slightly, anything from 5 to 10 ounces, fluid ounces that is, and then cover the bowl with foil and chill it thoroughly in the fridge.
Okay.
Alright? To make the garnish, you simply combine all the ingredients together with a seasoning of salt and freshly milled black pepper and hand them round at the table together with small croutons of bread fried till they're crisp in olive oil, well drained. Alright? A crisp white wine should be served with this soup, my recipe says. A crisp white wine should be served with this soup. Serve the soup with 4 ice cubes floating in it.
Okay,
white wine.
That sounds delicious to me.
And white wine.
Okay, and white wine. Okay, Lynn, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Yes.
Following soup, what are you going to have? Are you going to jump the main course and go for a pudding?
Obviously. For me, yeah. I'd rather have a pudding than roast beef.
Okay,
so,
all right.
For today's pudding, we're going to go with lemon meringue pie. which is a lovely...
Oh, great, I love
pudding.
that.
Yeah, it's lovely, and it's not too stodgy, is it?
No.
You know, during the war years, they used to fill you up with stodgy puddings, but we don't need to be... Puddings can be light and fluffy, and quite not so bad on the sinful points bit either, you know.
Yeah.
Lemon meringue pie, though, we do have to have pastry for that, so a little bit of pastry to make the flan, and we're going to start by making the flan case with 150 grams of plain flour, 80 grams of butter, 15 mils of caster sugar, 1 egg yolk and 10 mils of cold water. So you're just going to place the flour, butter and sugar in a bowl and mix on a speed 1, increasing it to speed 3, until the mixture resembles coarse breadcrumbs. You can do this with your hands, and I still do it, but make pastry with my hands, the old-fashioned way. Blend the egg yolk and water together and add to the mixture using speed 1 to form a dough. And then roll it out on a lightly floured board, and that's great for sweet tarts and flans and pastries and things like that.
Okay.
All right? It's no good for a steak and kidney pie.
Right, okay.
It's a sweet pastry.
But hang on, you don't really have to go through all that nonsense, do you?
No, you can go and buy one in Budgeons. Go and buy a ready-baked flan case, for heaven's sake.
How much does it cost?
I don't think they're very much at all.
Okay.
A couple of pounds, but then, no, I don't think they're very much. I suppose if you're watching the pennies, then it's wise to, if you've got everything in your store cupboard anyway, it's wise to make your pastry.
Okay.
But penny-wise, it's good to make your pastry, but other than that, just go to Budgeons or the Co-op and get one.
Okay.
Why not?
Right.
The filling, though, is the fun part for this, and that's 1 lemon, 4 ounces of sugar, 2 egg yolks, 1 ounces of corn flour, half a pint of water and 1 ounce of butter. All right? And for the topping, you're going to want 2 egg whites and 3 ounces of sugar.
Right.
So cut your lemon into 4 pieces and place it in the liquidizer with sugar, egg yolks, corn flour and water. Maximum speed for 1 minute. All right? This recipe, this whole recipe, depends on you having a liquidizer, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Right, so we could just squeeze all the juice out of the lemon and finely grate all the rind and get everything in there, and whisk it up with sugar, egg yolks, corn flour and water, all right? It takes a little longer, but you can do it.
Yeah, all right.
We didn't have liquidizers when I was learning to cook, I can tell you that now. Well, we didn't use them in the kitchen anyway. Pour through the strainer into the pan, pressing well with a spoon to extract all the liquid, all right? Add the butter and cook the mixture, stirring continuously until it thickens, almost like a custard.
Okay.
Continue cooking for 3 minutes, then remove from the heat and allow it to cool down. As it cools, it'll start to set, so then you put it in the pastry case, in the flan case.
Okay.
Fill your pastry case. Turn your attention to your egg whites and whisk them on a maximum speed until thick. Now this is where a whisk is really handy, because they can take a while to stiffen up egg whites. So whisk them on a maximum speed until they go thick. Sprinkle in the sugar, and during the last stage of whisking, and continue until it's quite stiff. All right.
Yeah.
So wait until it goes stiff before you put your sugar in. Fold in the sugar is the word that we use, and continue whisking again until it goes quite stiff. Pile the meringue on top of the filling, making sure it comes right to the edges, and dust it lightly with granulated sugar. Place the pie in a moderately hot oven for about 5 and 10 minutes until the meringue peaks go golden brown. So peak up your meringue so you get these nice golden brown peaks. And you can decorate that with glacé cherries and angelica. Looks lovely. And I just love lemon meringue pudding.
So do you serve it hot or cold?
Either way, doesn't matter. You can serve it either way. For me, it's better cold.
Yeah.
I love it with ice cream.
So when you actually put it in the oven to make the peaks brown, you shove it in the fridge?
Yeah, of course, after it's cooled down.
Yeah.
You don't put anything straight in the fridge hot, are you? So let it cool down
I've been known
first.
to do that.
Have you? Well, that's naughty.
Yeah.
You mustn't cool things down too quickly because of the germs.
Yeah, okay.
So you have to cool things down slowly, let them cool down, and then put it in the fridge.
And that's delicious, is it?
It's delicious. Well, try it. Why don't you try these recipes?
I will do.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, Lynn. That is the end of the show this week. So until next week, on behalf of myself, Tony Weiner, and the full team from Selsey Internet Radio, it's bye until next week.